After what we covered so far, I now feel that it is time we revisit the present value and future value concepts and make something explicit. Again, as in the previous analysis we ran, we assume positive interest rates, which is the norm. So from the future value and present value equations we expressed and have written over here, we can see that the future value and present value, apart from being a function of one another, they are also a function of the interest rate R and N, the number of years we either need to grow our initial amount to reach a desired future value or discount a given future value in order to reach the present value. Starting off with the future value, you can see what I just said explicitly stated over here. The future value is a function, we use f to denote the function, so the future value is a function of the present value, R and N. And if we want to elaborate a bit more, we can say that the future value is a positive function of the present value. And of course, I use the plus sign to denote that. You can see it from the equation over here. The higher the amount you input for the present value, the higher the future value will be. All else equal, of course, that is holding R and N constant. The future value is also a positive function of the interest rate R and N. Again, all else equal, the higher the interest rate R, the higher the future value is going to be. And lastly, all else equal, the higher N is, the higher the future value. In other words, the further away in the future I move, the more the future value will grow. It makes sense, as the higher the exponent over here is going to be. Moving on to the present value, it is a function of the future value, R and N. All else equal, it is a positive function of the future value. The higher the future value, the higher the present value is going to be. Again, looking at the equation over here will make you understand why this is the case. Now, as regards the interest rate R and N, the number of years I need to discount to reach the present value, it is a negative function of those two input parameters. And it makes sense, as the higher R and N are, the higher the denominator over here is going to be, and the higher the denominator is, the smaller this entire quantity is, and thus the lower the present value. So to sum up, the future value is positively related to the present value R and N, and the present value is positively related to the future value and negatively related to R and N.